Be sure to visit us at Smoke to the Bone Barbecue located at 117 South Texas Street, Crowley, Texas, 76036. Orders can be placed at 817-744-7481. That's 817-744-7481. Hope to see you soon.
This is a Beat Sessions with Nita production. This is a Beat Sessions with Nita production.
This is an in-house production. This is an in-house production. This is an in-house production.
What's up, sofa talk? Gang, 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 gang.
This is an in-house production. This is an in-house production.
What's up, sofa talk? Gang, 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 gang.
This is an in-house production.
What's up, sofa talk? Gang, 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 gang.
This is an in-house production. This is an in-house production.
What's up, sofa talk? Gang, 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 gang.
This is an in-house production.
What's up, sofa talk? Gang, 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 gang.
This is an in-house production.
What's up, sofa talk? Gang, 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 gang. What's up, sofa talk? Gang, 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 gang.
We loud.
What's up, Sofa Talk Gang Gang?
Gang, 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 gang.
What's up, everybody? Welcome on in tonight. Thank y'all so much for joining us. We got some great content tonight. I know everybody saw the advertisement, so you can't wait to talk about it. We're gonna get into it. First, we want to say what's up to everybody. Come on in, let us know you're in the building. Hey, Sister Bernicia. Hey, Sister Brittany. Hey, Sister Tiff. Hey, Sister Shanika.
Hello, everybody.
Thank y'all for joining us tonight. And I was gonna say something. I lost my train of thought. But anyway, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing today? Hope y'all having a marvelous Thursday. Let us know how you doing. How your day been. You can say something back. It's great. I'm having a good day. Not so good. Let us know how you doing.
What's good in the hood, in the hood, in the hood?
It's good in the hood.
It's good in the hood. What's today's topic?
Hey, Sister Kenza. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about sex.
Sad. What about it?
We're going to talk about a couple of different things.
Sure. I know we thing about it is we love to go catch it. We love to grab the attention. I ain't digging the shirt, but I ain't got time to fix that right now. But the thing about it is the question is, are we living in a sex-driven society? Are we living in a sex-driven society? And what does the church have to say about it? Do the church have any say? Or do we have anything to say at all? I mean, we have firm believers of slaves can't free slaves.
Right.
So if they dealing with that themselves, you're not gonna hear about it. I mean, we hear about the different religious denominations. We see it on the news all the time. All of the scandals in the church, all of the sexual related scandals. in the church and outside of the church, but are we living in a sex-driven world, society? Turn on the radio. Everything you hear on the secular radio, it has something to do with sex. You turn on TV, it have everything to do with sex. And it ain't like it was in the 50s, the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. The 2000s got a little raunchy. In the teens, it got even raunchier. So it seems as if we're living in a sexual-driven society. Not just sex, but violence. Sex and violence go hand in hand. Yeah. Cartoons, Sister Ninja say cartoons. It's even on the cartoon.
Yeah. Everything is about sex.
Everything.
That Adult Swim channel is not for children.
That is not for children.
I was looking at something on there.
So are we living in the sexual driven? So at what age? How do you talk to your kids about this, or do you talk to your kids about this, or how is it being a single parent trying to talk to a son about sex, or a single mother trying to talk to a son about sex, or a father? Oh Lord, too. Oh Jesus. But after my research, good God Almighty, we got saints. We gotta do some praying. So y'all ready? Let's go. I asked the question: should the church talk about it? Should the church talk about it? Why churches need to talk about sexuality? Lessons learned from hard conversations about sex, gender, identity, and the Bible. And
what's
Bible.
up,
What you think
sofa
about that,
talk?
Fred?
Well, first of all, I think that a lot of churches kind of omit that because, we're in that day and age where people say, it kind of like what I was saying last night in Bible study. They say, come as you are. And we use that so loosely that people definitely come like they are, and then they stay the way that they are. God never intended for us to come to him like we were and stay that way. We're supposed to be seeking change in some type of way. But even in that, people kind of stray away from that because, like you said, a lot of them are doing it. A lot of them have, I've read so many articles online and seen so much on YouTube where the pastors were undercover homosexuals and they married the women. They slept with the men in the church and got back to the wife, and they killed the wives, or the men killed themselves or killed their whole entire family. And then the church was left thinking or trying to figure out what happened when, in fact, it was a problem and it was there. Nobody wanted to address it. So I think that it's very important that we address it. And then nowadays, too, everybody is so caught up on, do you be who you want to be and all this and that, when in fact that wasn't the way God, nobody, and then they got this whole, thought process that I was born gay and I'm supposed to be gay and all of that. And well, if that was God's intent for you to be a woman and have a woman, then he would have gave you a penis. If it was God's intent, vice versa, for you to lay with a man and you're a man, then you would have got a vagina. But that's a society we're in now. Everybody accepts anything. But the Bible clearly talks about it. In the last days, people will wax cold. They will be calling wrong right and right wrong. So we know clearly we're in the last days. We're in that last day era. So I think it's very important for the church to address sexuality, homosexuality. I think that they should be praying When it comes to that, when they have somebody, I mean, nowadays they just overlook it. They let them run the choir. They can play the instruments. Whatever is works for their church, and if it's a benefit for their church, then of course they don't even care. They just let them operate with that spirit because they need that, or what they bring to the table. And I'm not so hungry for the whole we don't have to be in the top of the list to have, and then have everybody around us living any kind of way. I don't want a church like that.
All right. Well, let's get out of the church and go into the world.
Okay.
Into America. At what age is it good to start talking to the children about sex? Church all the way out the window. Just for unsaved folk. What age do you start talking to your child about sex?
I think at least about 10. Fifth grade.
About 10?
Yeah, 5th grade. Because there are girls now that's pregnant in the 5th
Watch
grade.
this. Let me give you some stats. Here. The average age to begin having sex in America is 15.6 years old. 22% males at the age of 10 years old to 13-year-olds. Females, 16%. Females, the same percentage. The same
What's
percentage.
up,
Now,
sofa
you said
talk? Gang.
what age group again?
I said 10.
10. Well, check it out. Well, I remember, well, I had a big brother, uncles, all that. So
Hey, JD.
We hear about it all the time, but didn't know about it. And then it's just like you see a newscaster interviewing eyewitness. You see an eyewitness, it was a crime scene, somebody wrecked, and then they go to the first person that they see. They ask them that they saw him off camera. Did you see what happened off camera? And then and they get to rambling and talking about something that they don't even know, as if they weren't even there. They don't even know what they talking about. And that's just how it was in school for me in the conversations with my peers talking about sex. They was telling me all kind of stuff, and I was like, really? That don't sound right. And then I get into high school, and then we have sex education. Do they even have sex education anymore? Or do we just learn by watching YouTube, television, the songs that we hear on the radio, or whatever have you? But the crazy thing about it, when I went to certain schools, we transferred a lot. When I went to certain schools, elementary school, I didn't hear about sex. When I went to the hood, my eyes and ears was open to things that I ain't never heard or seen before. from 7 to 9-year-old. And I'm sitting at the cafeteria table. I'm a preacher's kid now. Keep in mind, I'm the pastor's son. And I'm like, you gotta be serious. What? You put that where? Oh, y'all nasty. And I was like, man, boy. And hey, what we gonna talk about again? Can you finish talking about that again at recess? And so, man, I'm gonna put the stats back up here. And I said all that to say this. I was at that age.
Yeah.
I was at that age where they was having them conversations. But guess what? My parents didn't know that I was having them conversations.
Right.
My parents had no clue that I was even thinking about experiment. Okay, what to do with this? That's what that does. That's why it's growing. And all these type of curiosity things and is going on in your mind. And I'm like, whoa. And then you get introduced to the magazines, and then they pass in the magazines through the backpacks, and we all in the locker room looking at the magazines, and oh my God, and was just amazed at how God made the woman body, and I was like, God, have mercy on my eyes. I was blown away. And at 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, y'all in here? Oh, y'all in here. I'm going to put it back out there again. And some of them was already having sex.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm just learning about sex.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just learning about it.
What's up, sofa
So,
talk? Yeah.
I didn't want to be.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be like this here, and I don't think too many of us want to be like this here.
Nobody's gonna say that.
Nobody want to be like this here.
Nobody's gonna say it. Not
We
one child.
We can't be like this and say, "Hey, what's sex?"
No child is gonna say that.
No child is gonna say that because what do we assume that they already know?
That's like
What it is?
Sister Bernicia said, whatever age our child comes to us with questions, we'll give them the answers that are appropriate for their age. But that's just
sofa
it.
talk?
They're never
Yeah,
going to come to you with
So how do
questions
we
like
know
that.
what's appropriate for the age? Because obviously K104 don't care what's appropriate for their age.
BET don't care
BET
what's
don't care what's
appropriate
appropriate for their age.
The internet don't care.
YouTube
don't
don't
care.
care what's appropriate for their age. So you might need to start having these conversations within the household. That way they are educated. That way they know how to protect themselves. Tell them what condoms are. You work in Planned Parenthood.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them about the different diseases that one can contact
When
by having unprotected sex.
when my boys were, I think, let's see, Waylon and Brandon were in middle school. Well, I think they all were in middle school. I think Waylon may have been in high school at the time. The other boys were in middle school. But I was working at Planned Parenthood and I could get like enormous amount of condoms. They may have been younger than that. I think they were probably going into middle school. Waylon was coming out, something like that. But I didn't wait for them to ask me anything because we were living in some apartment complex where the little girls were just as mannish as all outdoors. They was all out there popping it, dropping and locking it. Y'all know.
Dropping and locking it.
Yeah. And so I took it upon myself to make sure that I protected my sons. I called them all in there together and I said, hey, let me tell y'all something. I don't know who's having sex. Don't want to know, but this is what it entails. We had a full discussion about it. They laughed throughout the whole conversation. They were embarrassed. I was embarrassed. But it wasn't embarrassing to me because I had worked at Planned Parenthood for 5.5 years as the clinic manager. So talking about the anatomy, intercourse, how to reach a climax, all those things, how to conceive babies, what time was right, what methods, what birth control methods, that was comfortable for me. Then before I became the clinic manager, I was the HIV counselor, so I had to counsel on that level as well. So talking to my children was like, it was a different level for me because it was so close to home, but at the same time, I have been the person to sit in the seat to draw the blood for the HIV test. I'm the one that sit on the other side of the desk and say, hey, I'm sorry to inform you, but to a 14, 15-year-old girl or a boy, hey, you got gonorrhea, you got chlamydia. So I was that parent that said, hey, let me sit them down and have this conversation early. And then I brought all of them a big pickle jar full of condoms, all different colors. I said, hey, let me show you how to do with it. Let me show you how to work this. And this is how you're going to put it on. Go try it on. Make sure you do it right. I didn't have to look at them or anything. I said, this is how it should look. Gave them a picture. Told them this is how this should be because it was just me and them. And I told them, hey, if you got any questions, let me know. We'll call one of my uncles, my brother, somebody will be able to help you from this point on. But as a mother, I tried to do the very best that I could. Now, I will say it must have worked because all of them were good. Brandon didn't have his first child until he was a senior in high school. Waylon got married before he had his first child. And Chris hadn't had any. So I think it's very important that you kind of just kind of get ahead of the game when it comes to discussing sex. And because what you don't want them to do is get with friends, like Pastor was saying his friends did, and was misleading him and giving him the wrong information. All those boys know in schools, they seen a fine girl or possibly seen something naked in the book. They're trying to figure out how to maneuver or how sex goes, and with that, the wrong information is given. I mean, and that's all she wrote.
Right. Now watch this. This was 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm reading from the book, it's called Sex, God, and the Single Life. Sex, God, and the Single Life. Good book. I always buy these type of books, and if you a member of our church, and if the Holy Spirit leads me to give you a book to read, please read it. I passed this out to a couple of members that was at the church,
Single.
and they were single. And look, I got it back. Watch this. 10 years ago, it said, in 2011 Psychology Today article, it asked the question, how often do men and women think about sex? How often men and women think about sex? It was reported that the average college-age man thought about sex as much as he thought about food and sleep. It was also reported that the average college-age woman thought about sex from 1 to 140 times each day. It says, while I'm not sure if I'm guilty of thinking about sex as much as I think about food or sleep, I know that I've been thinking about the topic for quite a while.
Wow.
It says, man think about it.
As
food,
much as he think about food and sleep.
Sleep. Idle mind is a devil workshop, Jack. That's why I stay on work, on the grind, and everything else, and word. If you ain't busy doing something constructive, the Psychology Today article says that sex is running through your mind.
That's crazy. And then it said the average woman.
The average age woman think about it 140 times a day.
Maybe that's the young women.
140 times a day. That's a lot. That's a lot.
That's a lot of thinking.
That's a lot of thinking.
That's a lot of thinking with no action.
Now I've heard people say that sex is overrated and this and all that, but it was created for marriage. It was created it was a sacred bond for marriage. It was to populate the earth. Now, if you thinking about sex that much, man, that's why it's overcrowded.
Yeah.
It's overcrowded.
Well, and then, I mean, I do hear people say that a lot, that sex is overrated and all this, and I think it's what you make it. It's like anything else.
Even though
but if you're married, that's what I was going to say, they ain't doing it right.
No more, so I don't know what the case may be, but
they ain't doing it right.
No,
they ain't doing it right.
They got them kind of problems.
No.
Yeah. But check it out.
I like you.
Yeah. Yeah. I know that's right. Shoot. They got them kind of problems.
No.
But it with that in mind, they're thinking about it daily, and the age is younger.
Mm-hmm.
The age is younger, and so y'all know I like stats. So I'm gonna bring up something else, and y'all can Google it and fact check me if you want to. But the CDC reports female virgins make up 12.3% in United States, while the males make up 14.6. And by the age of 18 years old, over half of the USA teens have had sexual intercourse.
What's up, sofa?
Little
talk.
Susie,
Gang.
Little Gretchen, Brother Paul, and all that other good stuff. Yeah.
We got some combo.
So I can see that just turned in the TV, the radio. It's just being it is
Programmed. Yeah, it's programmed.
in the society.
It is.
But to bring up that fact, if we look at they're getting younger, they're thinking about it more, and 12% of today's teens are virgins. That's a low percentage.
Yeah.
That's a low percentage. That means some of our kids can tell us about some war stories.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Amen.
Yeah.
Some of the nieces and nephews, the ones that you don't think know nothing about nothing, them the ones that are the most informative. Mm-hmm. They know all the tricks and all of the hey, and they got FaceTime, Snapchat. They got all kind of stuff that we as parents are not paying attention to. And then you get mad when they come up pregnant and hey dad, I just want to let you know I got a baby on the way. What? Yeah. You can't be surprised because we live in that type of society. Yeah. We're not communicating. I mean, everybody got the phone in their face. Mom, dad go to work. They come home. So if kids is on the internet, we think they're doing their homework or in school on the internet. For those that are doing internet school, they ain't doing no internet school. They're doing something else.
Yep.
Pornography is available. There it is. On every smartphone. Every smartphone. Start checking these phones.
Yeah, that's right, bro. It's on there. And I'm going to tell you, and these kids are looking at it on those phones. And then hiding, acting like they don't know what they're looking at.
Hit the like button, share. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. We had to get that out the way. Mm-hmm. But we can't. We're handcuffing ourselves as a body of believers by not having these type of discussions with our kids. We can't blame it on the principal that they come up there half dressed or acting raunchy and sluttish because we didn't correct it before we sent them to them schools.
That's right.
We can't. I shouldn't have to drag little Joe down to go get a test because he done came and told me, hey, it hurt when I used the restroom.
Right.
What you mean it hurt? What you mean this thing? What you been doing? Because we ought to have these type of conversations. Right. Parents, we ought to start checking our kids' temperatures. And I ain't trying to check for fevers or corona, none of that. I'm trying to check to see what they know. That's what you doing? Yeah. Where y'all going?
Yeah.
How long y'all been dating? Y'all kiss yet? They get to giggling and snickering. No, man, quit lying to me. Tell me the truth.
Yeah. Because it's happening.
It's time for us to be parents again. Stop being their friends and be their parent. You are in charge. Now, if you ain't in charge, I mean, hey, make them fend for themselves. Don't buy no food. But if you are the parent, be the parent.
Yeah.
First lady, what you got?
To the fullest. Sister Bernice, I wish somebody would have sat me down and had a talk with me. I feel like it's such a taboo thing in our community. Like, it's a no-touch subject. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, ain't nobody.
Don't nobody want to talk about
it. We them people that's gonna bring up the conversations and the topics that people don't want. I seen somebody put a wild face on the topic, and I was saying yes. So it got your attention, and I'm gonna be the guy. I'm gonna be the guy, and she gonna be the girl that we can communicate and talk about the touchy subjects that Bishop don't want to talk about, Apostle don't want to talk. He just want to lay hands on you. And I mean that's fine. That's all fine and dandy, as long as you laying hands the right way.
Yeah. Well, and two, the thing is, I mean, this is real life, and these are real life situations.
I mean, some stuff ain't spiritual. Some of it's common sense.
Yeah, and I don't understand why it's got to be a touchy thing in our community. We're the ones that's
leading everybody in AIDS. They're leading
I'm telling
everybody
you.
in abortions, leading everybody in teen pregnancies. We ought to be the ones to grab our community by the throat and say, hey, you come here. We need to get this stuff in order.
Yes. I used to go around to a lot of community centers, and I generally went to the Black and Hispanic neighborhoods and spoke with the kids about sex and stuff when I worked for Planned Parenthood. I went and did a big conference in Austin at the health department, and I had to speak to, hundreds of people. I was only 24 years old, and but I was a supervisor, and that was my job. And we went all over talking about sex and stuff, and people was like, I don't see how you so comfortable talking about that. I was like, well, everybody's doing it. Why is it a secret? And then the thing about it is, I guess when you know that you're doing it the wrong way, it causes that conviction, even when you're not saved. Because people don't generally like to talk about sex. Now the rappers and the people that's making money, that's how they sex sells.
Yeah.
So they gonna talk about, I took little mama and all of what they did to her.
Right.
But it's because that makes money for this generation.
Yeah.
But
Making
who's gonna tell you to do it the right way?
Everything.
Somebody gotta tell you to do it the right way.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do
They
it.
make it rain at the club, the strip club. The young girls, they want to graduate from high school and go get a job at the strip club.
Yeah.
Come on, society.
Yeah. I was looking at Family Feud the other day, and the question was, what if your daughter came home and told you that she had a dream job, what do you think she would say? And one of the girls on there said she wanted to be a stripper. She said, to be a stripper. And her dad
Pop,
looked
lock,
at
and
her
drop it.
like, he said, what? He said, why would you even say that? And they were black. And I was so mad because I'm thinking, like, why would you even say that that's your dream job? She said, well, not really mine. But I'm saying somebody else. Well, why would that even be a job that somebody would want to? They do make good money, but why would that be a dream job, baby? We gotta think. Our minds need to be elevated.
We need to go there. Go on into your.
A couple of years back, I ministered at a conference, and I had to, of course they tell you, this is geared towards a lot of single women and how they conduct themselves. And
we have a lot of single people in our ministry as well. So
we have a lot of single people. Like the majority of our church is single. We have a couple of married, but the majority of the people are single. And so when I was contacted, this was before me and Pastor got married, I was contacted to preach in this conference. I was like, well, what am I going to talk about? And the only thing I could think of was what pertained to me. So I made a little booklet for the ladies before I left and gave them to them. And I entitled this, Being Single, I'm Saved, I'm Single, and I'm Satisfied.
That's why we did the series like that.
Yeah, so we had a series about it as well. So my title for my message was Keeping Yourself for Your Husband. And the first thing that I wrote on the pamphlet was a scripture, 1 Corinthians 6:19-20. And it says, what? ? Know ye not that your body is a temple of the Holy Ghost, which is in you, which ye have of God, and ye are not your own? For ye are bought with a price. Therefore glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's. Your body and your spirit belong to God. A lot of people always say, oh, I get it. I know, when I have sex with somebody I feel so connected to this person. That's because those soul ties it takes immediate effect. And I think that it's important for not only for us to have these conversations with our children early, but for the sake of who they'll become.
Right.
The problems that they'll encounter on down the road got a lot to do with spirituality. Right. During sexuality, because a lot of people think that, I'm just gonna lay down, I'm gonna have sex with this person and I'm gonna walk away. Wrong. You have so many attachments to that person just by that one sexual encounter that will take years to break off of your life. Right. So many strongholds.
Stay right there. Stay right there. Watch this. Some of us when we get into bed with one individual, we actually getting into bed with several individuals.
Yeah.
We're getting into bed with all of their sex partners that they haven't broken the soul tie from, along with your sexual partner's soul ties. So That bed crowded.
And then their partners.
And their
The
partners.
people that they slept with. We had a bulletin at Planned Parenthood like that I had in my office on the wall for the HIV counseling, and I told them it had a picture of a person. It was just like a silhouette of a person, and it said, "This is you. This is your new sex partner." And then up under those two people had all the people they slept with. It was crazy, and it showed, it gave me the whole concept that, good Lord, when I thought that I slept with one person, I slept with everybody that person slept with, plus he slept with everybody that I slept with.
Right. Let's check out some of these comments here. Sister Bernicia said, I wish somebody would have read that one.
Yeah, I read that one.
Brother Mayberry says, I can tell you why it's a touchy subject. First Lady said it's Sunday. We are not on one accord in our households. First.
That's right.
Also, it's hard to talk to the kids about things when the parents don't even talk.
Come on, bro. Because look, when the parents get home, this is what they doing.
When the parents don't talk,
they on this thing too. You can't
sit down and talk to the kids because they ain't going to listen to you because y'all ain't talking.
Be right.
That's good stuff, boy.
Yeah, that's really good. And that
Sister
is so
Tiff say,
true.
Wrong, soul ties are real.
Now, I'm telling you. Those soul ties are real. You know, have you ever been in a relationship with somebody, y'all had sex, and then all of a sudden you start seeing things in that person that you don't like at all, but then all of a sudden you start kind of acting like that too?
Right.
Because those things are real. Yeah. And that's real.
And it has to be broken off. Mm-hmm. You got to get that thing out of you.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of times people think, oh, it's just sex, but it's not just sex. It was because it was created for a husband and a wife. It wasn't created for everybody to do it, you know?
Right. Sister Mary said I wasn't talked to about sex either. I was 16 when I got pregnant.
I'm sure.
And that's majority of our community.
Yeah.
The mothers were younger, especially when we were growing up. The mothers were getting younger, and wasn't nothing mom and dad and them can do about it. And guess what? We was in church.
Yeah. And they did not talk about it. That's for sure.
Now, what they did back in the day, they hired you off and send you down to go stay with Big Mama in Mississippi. I'm talking. They send you off somewhere, and then you grow up thinking something crazy. You don't even know who your relatives is because of the parents didn't communicate and tell the truth about what was going on. We talked about that in some Family Secrets episodes. I'll go back and check that out.
Sister Bernice said, one thing I can't understand is when I was growing up, everything I did was considered fast. Me too. And I was the one that wasn't doing anything, but when I did become active, I kept it a secret. Of course, that's why I was telling you about Junior now. They're not going to tell you. That's the same as children when they are raped or molested by a family member or a stranger for that matter. They don't tell. That is such a touchy thing that nobody tells those kind of things.
I hope that if they're not on here now, I hope that the parents will go back and let their kids watch this episode tonight. And y'all have the conversation, man. Get that out on the table, and that way there's no secrets. I ain't being surprised by nothing. I don't want no surprises. I want you to be upfront with me. If you consider yourself an adult, if you're 18 or over, then let's sit down and talk as adults. I'll put the belt up. I ain't gonna backhand you, but here it is. We need to have these type of discussions. It's on Power. It's on what else? What all the other shows? And we sit there as parents and watch these shows with
our children. Yeah.
So why wouldn't we converse and talk about what we just watched? What they doing? Now they say, turn your head.
Yeah.
What?
And I'm gonna
turn my head.
You know
what you mean?
That's what make them really.
I heard you and Mama them.
Yeah.
What you mean? I heard you and Mama back there. You talking about turn my head? I heard you. You know? What? Turn the radio off? What? Come on. When y'all get mad at each other, y'all talk worse than the radio.
Come on now.
So we got to be the parents in front of these kids and have these type of conversations.
Yeah.
We got to be the men and women of God and sit these people down. If the parents ain't talking about it, bring them to pastor, bring them to first day. And if they are living up to the standard, they'll be able to talk to them and tell them, hey, this is how this goes.
Yeah.
This is what this is supposed to be, and this is how this is supposed to be. But you have to be able to trust them with your children. If you don't trust them with your children, don't send them to them.
No.
I know I ain't sending my daughter to Bishop Tutu and telling Bishop that she's having some desires and no. Bishop might not be right in the mind.
I'm telling you, we've seen it.
Yeah.
And we hear about it. So, no.
Sister Ben say, I made sure I talked to my girls about it. Jazz 24, no kids. Joe 19, no kids.
I'm telling you, break that
They won't
generational
tell
curse.
You just have to talk about it. Yeah, you got to bring it up.
Yeah.
That's
a part of parenting. That's a part of loving on your children, letting them know. You know, because that's the way it was. Like, I mean, with us, we didn't really just. My mama didn't come out and just talk about it either. Though.
Since we have such a young congregation, we always had individuals telling us they want to get married.
Yeah.
And one of the questions that we asked the couples in the session is that we hope that we're not rushing to get married just so we can have sex.
Yeah.
Just so we won't feel conviction or not living in sin. Don't you go get married just to have a sex partner.
I'm telling you. That ain't what that is either.
No. I wouldn't advise. Don't you ever go say I do to nobody just so you won't feel convicted about having a sex partner.
Yeah, that'd be the worst marriage you ever encountered.
Yeah, because the marriage would just be based off sex.
That's it.
What happens when they get in a car accident and they can't walk?
And that thing don't work.
Right. So then now you looking somewhere else to go find a replacement because your marriage was just based off sex.
Yeah. That's not
No, that
not
ain't
gonna
what
work.
it is. So we want to make sure that we have these type of conversations in the body of Christ. Give biblical perspectives, give truth, give some experiences, and then let them go about their merry way.
Sister Tiff said my parents didn't talk to me either. They just put fear in me. I was scared until after college. I already know.
I remember. I know my brother is still on here. I remember the conversation that my daddy had with my older brother and my cousin. And then after he had that conversation with them, he didn't have to have it with us because we laughed. Boy, we laughed. We was in the other room, but we was eavesdropping. But it was hilarious. And I'll never forget what he said when he pulled out that. Oh my God, he did a demonstration, a type of demonstration that I wasn't ready to see. And then I'll never forget. Boy, it was hilarious. We need to put that on, make a movie out of that joke. That joke was so funny. Oh my goodness. But it was brought up because of a phone conversation that my cousin was having. And Mama was eavesdropping on the phone. My big brother go in there. He said, "Mama on the phone." So Daddy we had to have the talk. We had, what the kind of talk was? It was one of these. We had to have the talk, Jack. We had to have the talk.
What's
But
up?
Oh,
you
my
can't be afraid to have the talk.
Okay.
You gotta have the talk. And I mean, I'm dreading the day, but
let me
we
tell you.
already done talked to Tudor.
Yeah.
We talked to TJ.
We sure
we
have.
talked to Tudor and TJ. So they've been informed. They know they've been threatened. They've been informed and they well educated on what it is and what
You know what,
the do's
too?
and don'ts. And if you get curious, come back and let's have another talk.
That's right. I think too, like with girls, I mean, once you start having cycles and stuff like that, I think you kind of need to know what's going on.
Yeah, I was petrified when I heard my baby having cycles. What's going on? I'm asking questions now.
Yeah.
Well, what that mean?
Yeah.
Is she having sex? I mean, what is this?
No.
What that mean? What is this and that?
Because
Lord.
I think
Ran my blood pressure.
and
I had
she's
bad
of
dreams.
the age to to be, to have a cycle. I just feel like, at that point, it's you kind of need to tell them, because now you can get pregnant. Now you can have babies. So this is there's no better time.
We got one daughter. That was rough on me. I text my brother. I say, man, what that mean, man? I ain't ready. He got more dollars than I do. So I'm like, well, bro, what? I mean, what does that mean? Talk to me, man. You've been through this before. I ain't ready for this. I ain't ready for the cycle stuff with my child. So just think, that was just cycle talk.
Yeah.
What about the dark secrets that we don't know about when we don't have the conversation?
Right.
And most parents will be like, I don't even want to think about it. I don't even want to know about it. You ought to want to know about it.
Yeah, because what happens when they get pregnant?
Because it could be something that you can prevent by having a conversation.
That's right. And I think, I say that my mom didn't really talk about it, but, a lot of y'all already know my situation, being raped and stuff when I was 9. That was kind of a conversation.
Genesis smart.
That was the kind of conversation we had to have it then, because I needed to know what was going on. What was he doing to me? So why was that going on? And so we had that conversation, but it was for the sake of something that happened. Had we had that conversation before then, which she probably thought was inappropriate, because who would think somebody gonna have sex with your child at 9 years old? Or just be having any kind of sexual encounters with them at between 7, 9, 10 years old. Nobody thinks that. And so that's why I said with Sister Bernicia earlier, those are the kind of conversations you have to have, because that kind of stuff, you take for granted the people that are around your children, and you think, oh, that's Uncle so-and-so, that's Aunt such and such, when these people actually have that. Some of these folks' minds is crazy. So it's kind of important to sit down and have those talks. Sister Mill say that's when they get to feeling themselves. LOL. Yep, for real. Yeah. Genesis smart. I hope Genesis is smart enough to know. I'm telling her we banning all boys. I don't want no boys around Genesis. Period.
Yeah. And then that's why I kind of hint around it. With the babies at the church, they get up of age. I tell them if they going to the prom, or you ain't going to the prom. If they ask you to go to the prom, you got to bring them to church, and they got to meet pastor.
Yeah.
I tell all of them, bring them. I even tell the single one, bring them to church. Have them sit down, let us look at them.
Yeah, for real. And normally they never work out.
Mm-mm.
I'm scared of everybody. This boy. Well, say he's scared of everybody. He's scared of everybody. Everybody is a suspect, if you ask me. Everybody's sus. So,
what else you got?
So in this booklet also, I gave a lot of tips and tricks and stuff, because at the time that
don't do too much. We're gonna publish it then.
Yeah, I won't. At the time that I made this little book, we're gonna we're gonna make it a book though. So I'm just gonna share some little nuggets.
For the single people, y'all go get this book.
You can't see, you gotta put it down some. There. Sex, God, and the Single Life.
Google it.
Everybody kind of need to know why. I mean, I think everybody knows why sex was created. They just don't care. I mean, it was a time when I didn't. I was out there all willy-nilly with it too. But I think that what makes it so much better, because we be having worship. It's worship now. See, once you understand why God created it, and then you have your partner for life, then it's on a whole it's on a whole nother level. It ain't nothing like what I was doing before I realized what God did, why He made this.
Your holy man. Yes, sir.
He about to have church. He about to have some worship.
No, not on live. Not on live, Jack. No.
Oh my goodness,
we
y'all.
won't disclose those type of festivities.
Sister Bernice say y'all funny. Sister Mill say First Lady hit that note. Worship. Worship be on a whole nother level. I'm trying to tell you. You know, when you find somebody that you are attracted to, you have sex with that person, you be like, you know, you be thinking they did it. Wait till you get married to the one God got for you, and then it's on a whole nother level spiritually.
Yeah.
That intimacy is on a whole nother level. You ain't did nothing till you do it and the bed is not defiled. You ain't did nothing till God gave you who you supposed to be laying down with every day. You ain't did nothing. You ain't did nothing yet.
Ain't that how to do it? That part.
You ain't did nothing yet till you get the one that you supposed to be with.
That part. You don't want to wake up feeling guilty.
No.
I don't want to go to church today. I don't want. They gonna judge me. Now they ain't. Their word is.
Yeah, that word will find you.
They ain't. They ain't thinking about you.
No.
That word. I mean, yeah, that word
will find you wherever you are.
Yeah.
You can be on the rock.
I think we offended three people that got off. They not worshipers.
It's always like that. You know, we want to try to keep it with the statistics and stuff at the beginning. Then we always gotta,
hey, man.
you know, we gotta add the word with it. We're Pastor First Lady. We can't come up in here talking about a rock in a weary land. I came with you, Waylon. Don't you come on here acting up.
Yeah, buddy.
It's just like, you know, some people, I mean, I don't know.
Hey,
it's not for me to worry about. Yeah, it is what it is. That we have their undivided
hope y'all been
attention
helped.
for a whole hour.
Hope y'all been helped. Hope y'all been blessed.
Y'all stay tuned.
To be a wife.
I'm trying to tell you. Baby.
Yeah.
That's what you want to be. And then you have to start submitting. If you can't submit to God, you sure won't be able to submit to no man.
No.
You got to submit to God first. That's where all of that word that you're learning, everything that God is putting on the inside of you, that's where that started taking place first. Because when I got a divorce, I was by myself for 3 years before me and Pastor started talking. I was celibate. Hadn't had no partners, anything. So when we got together, we knew. Worship. The worship was for real. It was for real. And I knew that it was different, even from the other husband, because that's why you have to wait on God. I know that people get antsy.
Everybody go picking their own.
Yeah, everybody get antsy, and you want to get your own man, or you want to get in the bed. I mean, I understand, because if you've been having sex for 20 years, trying to wait for 3, 4, 5 years for a husband is detrimental. It should be talking to you in the midnight hour. But the thing about it is, though, you have to stop subjecting yourself to things. It's all in here. I'm gonna get it ready for y'all. You have to stop subjecting yourself to things and putting yourself in bad situations.
And when it's genuine and when it's God ordained, watch this. It never gets boring.
Never. I feel it in my nose.
God ordained, y'all type that on the screen. When it's God ordained, it never gets boring. How many married folk can say that? I'll wait.
Sister Bernice say, you can say that again. I already. Should I dance?
When it's God, I believe I say that again. You say it for me.
When it's God ordained, it'll never be boring. Never. You won't have no wandering eyes. Won't be thinking about calling so-and-so from back in the day.
Be reading your inboxes when them jokers inbox, y'all read them together. Look at what this fool said. Cause you ain't trying to lose what you got.
Trying to tell you.
Not over here, Matumbo.
Man, we do that a lot. People be trying us, baby.
Yeah.
All the time.
Didn't we call that dude back?
Yeah. Don't you start that. You
Call
told
that
him.
dude back.
You told him.
Hello. He thought he was getting her. He getting us. Hello. Hello. I thought you wanted to talk, bro. Are you happily married? Yeah, we are. Yeah.
I don't know why people do that. They come in my inbox and say, "Am I happily married?"
Hello.
Am I happily married? Lord, what do you mean? Why would you even ask me, am I happily married? I've given you no indication that I'm unhappy. So why are you in my inbox asking me and then calling my phone through Facebook?
Like I ain't nowhere in the vicinity.
People got nerve. They got their nerve.
No.
Fad put the eyes looking to the side. I know, bro. They weird.
They don't want to meet me at the pancake house.
They weird out here.
They don't want to meet at the pancake
They weird out here. Y'all will even be surprised by all this underground stuff the church got going on.
I ain't talking about that today. That's on another topic.
Ooh.
We talking about sex today.
Oh, that's something about sex. They got something going on.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute, I know that's right.
Woo, Lord, help me.
Yeah, it's real though.
I'm praying for myself.
We like to laugh and have fun.
I'm praying for
A lot of
myself.
people always want to just be.
He's so serious.
Yeah,
He's
you know.
mean. He don't smile. I just don't like you.
Really?
Yeah, it's simple. I mean, it's a rocket science. I mean, I smile around the people I want to be around. I talk around the people I want to be around. If I ain't said nothing around you, that I'll tell you.
You
so.
talk to me constantly.
Yeah, you be telling me to shut up.
But a lot of people think you don't talk that often.
You
I
tell
say,
me to
yes,
shut up.
he do.
Yeah, you talk too much. Shut up, boy. Man. That's why I come back in my office. Talk to the wall. Talk to Jesus. Jesus talk back to me.
So, y'all, does anybody want to add anything before we get off of here tonight?
Y'all want to see the stats again? Oh, y'all remember the stats. Y'all don't need to see the stats again. So we need to have these talks. Need to have them talk.
Sister Brittany, are you ready to have a talk with Zuda, or have you already had the talk? Because I think the question was, he said, good stuff, family. Y'all have a good one. Thank you, bro. You too. The question was, is today's society driven by sex? And does the church have a say in it?
What's up, sofa talk?
Oh, we
Gang,
gotta say
gang,
it.
gang,
He
gang.
said, I kind of had
we gotta say, Jack.
I kind of had the talk.
We gotta say something.
I'm looking forward to the book, First Lady, because I need it. I'm going to buy the other book, Pastor Sherry. Yes, it is so good. And stay tuned for her, because she's coming.
Oh, I got some more. I mean, because I know that's what 95% of our convictions are dealing with sex.
Yeah.
If you ain't dealing with alcoholism, you ain't dealing with this, you're dealing with some R. Kelly.
You know what? And that's so true.
I mean,
That's so true.
I mean, I can't come to the altar because I ain't ready to get this up yet, and I ain't. And then the even crazier thing about it is, especially from a male perspective, I noticed so many of my friends they have several. I didn't have that many folk. I got married early at first marriage at an early age, 21 years old, and my thought was, well, as I stated before, I didn't want to continue to live in sin. Mm-hmm. So I got married at 21. You hear me? Mm-hmm. But everybody else kept doing their own thing. They'll move they girl in and say, oh no, I ain't ready for marriage. But you ready for sex.
And you ready for somebody to cook for you. And ready for somebody to clean up
You ready to play
behind
house.
you. Yeah, you want to play house, but you don't want to be. You don't want the
I
commitment.
don't want to be committed, but I'm somewhat already committed. Cause when y'all sign that lease, y'all married. Common law married.
Sure is.
You sign the lease, and then, according to the state, you are supposed to get a divorce before y'all part ways. You're supposed to.
Even as common law.
Common law, man.
If you
gotta get
stay
a
with
divorce.
somebody, it used to be 6 months.
It's 6
now,
months.
now it's 3 months.
It's 3 months.
They moved up 3 months, and in order for you to get to put that person out, you got to file eviction and everything.
You ain't got no ring or nothing, but.
And they
That's
can
your
take
right.
some of
That's
your
your hood.
property. If they tell the judge,
If they gonna tell the judge
they
that
bought anything,
we bought,
they get
I
to
bought
take
this,
it.
and then they won't give it back. The judge he probably give them a little bit more than what they bought. And you might have to pay some child support to do some of that stuff too. Yeah, y'all better start reading. It's your husband. It's your wife. My wife. I don't want to get married. You already married.
Yeah.
You might as well do it right. You married, buddy. Well, why? I ain't ready to do that. Why putting the date off?
And you know
Put the
what?
date off for what?
That's good what you said about
Yeah, right,
people struggle with that. A lot of people can't just come and fully submit to God.
Yeah.
And it's just because of that. It's
But
one or
here
two
it is, here it
things,
is.
drugs
Then
or sex.
Then they say, I want to have a church wedding. Hold on. What? You want to have a church wedding? But why?
Sister Khaleesi say I dodged the bullet.
You hear
Yes, ma'am.
You want to have a church wedding? But why?
Yeah.
You're not following anything that the church has established, but you want to have a church. Give me a church wedding. Go to the courthouse, man. Let that girl hit that gavel. Y'all, I do.
Well, that's what Brandon say. That's my wife.
Quit. Do it like that.
Sister Tiff say ain't nobody moving here. Tyrone and Marcus ain't having it. I already know. They gonna run everybody. That's why Marcus over there. You ain't know. Marcus want to make sure ain't nobody coming up here with my sister.
All right. We want to thank our sponsors.
Y'all, this is a nut.
Because I'm laughing because our sponsors was us.
I know it.
Y'all see the promotional videos at the beginning. JT's graphic designs and beat session with Nita. And then we added another one, Smoke to the Bone Barbecue, which is right across the street from our church. Y'all go through and check him out. He got some pretty good barbecue.
Yes, he do.
Again, if you
and he has soul food.
And he got soul food. If you have a small business and you would like to promote your business before any of the broadcasts, send us an email at House of Deliverance of Crowley, Texas, and we will discuss the matters on how we can support and broadcast your business before all of our broadcasts.
It's gonna be for a small fee.
Exactly.
Okay? Because all of America's gonna be looking at your business information.
Yeah. It'd be $25 starting out until the platform grows.
That's right, Sister Bernicia. In-house production.
In-house productions. In-house.
Thank you, Sister Tiff. Just I love the commercials.
All right. If you haven't,
y'all do us a favor before we get off of here. Go to YouTube and like the video.
We appreciate everybody on Twitch. We appreciate everybody on YouTube, Facebook. We on all of the platforms.
If you're on Facebook, go like the broadcast as well, please.
Guess what?
We love y'all. So for talk. Gang. Have a blessed night.
We out of here.